Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to start with our very first instructional video. It's a ReadWorks and it's called Under Attack. Now parents, we do ReadWorks in our class every day so they know what they are and pretty much how to do them. If you need to pause your video and go get yours and get anything that you might need to work on this assignment with me, then do so right now and then come right back and we'll get started. Also, if you've not done this assignment, then let's not watch the video until you've completed the assignment. Because parents, I'm actually giving the answers and going over this with them. So let's try to make sure that the assignment is done before they watch the video. Okay, now that we've gotten all that sorted out, let's get started. First off, this is a piece of what we call informational text. Now, we do informational text in our classroom almost every day. There's three purposes, and they know the three purposes for an author writing. We call that author's purpose. 1, to persuade, 2, to inform, or 3, to entertain. Now, obviously, if this is a piece of informational text, what is the author's purpose for writing this, boys and girls? Yes, if you said to inform, you're absolutely correct. So, when we do this assignment, we have to be able to cite what we call text evidence. Text evidence is so very important, especially in informational text. The answer can't be, well, my cousin told me, or I had a friend that was a fireman one time and he told me this, or I saw a movie about it. No, it has to come from the text. They have to be able to say, in paragraph blank, it says this, or the author stated, I read on page 7, ... The picture shows, because we always do look at pictures, charts, and graphs. Those are very important in informational text. And then I know because I read so-and-so. So, like I said, today we're going to be looking for text evidence in almost every question that we answer. Now, we'll have some opinion questions and things like that. But the most important thing today is looking for text evidence. Can you find it in the text, or did you find it in the text? One of the very first things that we always do is look at the title. We underline that title, and then we make a prediction based on that title, what we think this text may be about. Now, in this case, we have 2 subtitles that pretty much give it away. Like when I first looked at the title, Under Attack, I thought about war, guns. But then when you look at the subtitles, you realize that this is going to have something to do with what? Yes, paintball. Obviously, a lot of you probably have played paintball or know somebody who plays paintball. So some of you can bring some background information to this text. Some of you may not can. Okay, then the next thing that I have them do, and they don't like doing this, parents, is I make them number the lines or the paragraphs or the sections so that when they answer that question, they can say, it says here, okay? In this case, I simply numbered the ReadWorks paragraphs, how they kind of have it separated, and that makes it really easy because the first page, if you'll look, has 7. And then on the second page, there are 2 subtitles. Just number those 4 and 4. So this is really easy to number. Sometimes it takes us a while to number our stuff, but this shouldn't take any time at all. Then the next thing that we do is we look at the questions that we're going to be looking for. And I'm not going to read over those right now. I'll let you do that with your parent because that takes a lot of time. So before we begin reading, make sure that you've read over your questions. And then I have them read it silently to themselves and look for any words that they may not know or don't know how to pronounce, know what they mean, and circle those so that we can work on those along if we need to. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to read this text, and everybody needs to follow along. Chris Estes, 12, of North Carolina, knows all about the dangers of paintball guns. As a prank, a group of teens fired paintball guns at Chris. A pellet nailed Chris in the face. It caused him to lose sight in one eye. Stories like that are becoming more common. That's because the guns are being used more and more as weapons outside of paintball game fields. A new study shows that the number of injuries from paintball has tripled in recent years. That could be because more people are playing the game. It might also be due to people using paintball guns as weapons. Some people are shooting paintballs at cars and homes, and others are using paintball guns to fire at people and animals. We've had some people whose cars or their bodies themselves have been hit by paintballs, said the mayor of Lake Forest, Illinois. As a result, that town has joined a growing number of towns that have banned paintball guns. Now, what town is it talking about? Can you tell me? Lake Forest, Illinois, right. Some paintball fans think the bans are unfair. What they've done is penalize people who have done it responsibly, one person said. Now, when something is banned, in case you don't know what that word means, it means you can't do it anymore. For example, if we ban you from playing basketball at recess, what does that mean? You can't play basketball anymore. What do you think? Should towns ban paintball guns? Read both sides of the debate. Now, a debate is an argument between two people about two different points of view. Okay? We talk about point of view a whole lot in our classroom. It's how you see something. And then you decide for yourself. So here's the first debate. Yes, paintball gun bans hit the mark. So yes, this person or the author is showing you the positive side, meaning these people are for the ban. As their name suggests, paintball guns are guns. They should be handled with care. I don't think people realize how dangerous they are, said the mother of a young boy hurt by a paintball. Everybody's got them, and they're not using them as toys. Paintball guns are intended to be used in places that are supervised. At paintball game centers, players must wear goggles and face masks for safety. Players also must follow strict rules. On the streets, however, those safety measures don't apply. Many times, bullies use paintball guns to hurt people and damage property. To protect the public, towns have every right to ban paintball guns. Then here's the second part of the argument, which will be your second, under your second subheading. No, banning paintball guns is off target. People should lighten up. They are picking on paintball because it's still a new sport that many adults just don't understand. Alan Faircloth of Black River Paintball in North Carolina said, just like skateboarding or inline skating, anytime a kid fell and broke his arm, it casts a bad light on the sport. If you're playing the game the way it's meant to be played, it's really not dangerous, said Jeremy of North Carolina. When some people, or when somebody takes a baseball bat and bashes out a car window, you don't hear anybody saying, ban Major League Baseball. Towns should back off. Banning paintball guns solves nothing. Okay, now that we've read that, let's look at our questions and see how you did on the answers. Number 1, what caused Chris Estes to lose his sight in one eye? And here are your choices. A, he was hit in the face with a baseball bat. B, he was hit in the face with a paintball pellet. C, he was hit in the face with a pair of goggles. Or D, he was hit in the face with a skateboard. So what was your answer? Yes, the answer is B. He was hit in the face with a paintball pellet. Now, where is it in the text? Right there. Paragraph 1. The last sentence in paragraph 1 simply states, a pellet nailed Chris in the face. It caused him to lose sight in one eye. And there it is right there. And you see I have mine highlighted. You can underline yours, circle it, color it with a crayon, anything you want to do. Number 2. In the text, the author presents 2 different arguments about an issue. What issue are these arguments about? A, the issue of following safety measures. B, the issue of playing with toys. C, the issue of banning Major League Baseball. Or D, the issue of banning paintball guns. Yes, that is correct. So what this whole text is about, banning paintball guns, whether or not they should be. Number 3, read these sentences from the text. Some people are shooting paintball guns at cars and homes. Others are using paintball guns to fire at people and animals. Okay, so there's your text evidence already stated for you, so you don't have to go look for that in the text. It's there. Based on this text evidence, what conclusion can be made? We talk about drawing conclusions. A, paintball is just as dangerous as skateboarding or inline skating. B, paintball pellets have little effect on cars or homes. It didn't talk about that, did it? C, paintball guns are being used as weapons outside of paintball game fields. It's exactly the correct answer. And why is D not correct? Paintball is a new sport many adults don't understand. It did talk about that, but that doesn't answer that question, does it? Number 4. Who would most likely find the bans on paintball guns unfair? A, people who have never used paintball guns. I don't think they would care, do you? B, people who have been injured by paintball guns. They wouldn't think banning it's unfair if they got injured by it, probably. C, people who have used the paint guns properly. D, mayors who have banned paintball guns in their town. Now, who would most likely think that unfair? If something got taken away from you that you enjoyed and that you were using correctly, that somebody else wasn't using correctly, then what do you think? Yeah, it would be D, people who have used the paintball guns properly. And if you'll look at paragraph 3 under, sorry, I lost my paper. Under this, you can read that. If you're playing the game the way it's meant to be played, then it's not really dangerous, said Jeremy of North Carolina. So we compared it to if somebody took a baseball bat and beat up a car, you wouldn't ban baseball, would you? So he made that comparison between the two. Number 5, what is the main idea of this text? Now, lots of times, your main idea is going to be stated in the very first paragraph. Sometimes it's going to be stated at the end. But then sometimes you have to pull the main idea out of the whole thing. All right. Is it A, some people are debating whether or not towns should ban paintball guns? Is it B, more people are playing paintball today than ever before? C, the number of injuries from paintball guns has tripled? Or D, paintball is a new sport that many adults do not understand. Now, all of these things were in that text. But what was the most important? What was this whole text about? Yes, A, some people are debating whether or not towns should ban paintball guns. It did have all these other details, but that's your main idea. Number 6, read the sentence from the text. As their name suggests, paintball guns are guns. They should be handled with care. Why might the author have used the phrase, as their name suggests? Do you think it was A, to emphasize something the reader might not notice? B, to inform those readers who don't know the rules of paintball? C, to highlight the correct spelling of the term paintball guns? No. D, to demonstrate that not all paintball guns are guns? What do you think? as their name suggests. When you see that in parentheses, usually the author is trying to get you to see something that you might not normally see. So what is the answer? A, yes, to emphasize something the reader might not notice. Number 7 is when we have to fill in that vocabulary word. Okay? At paintball game centers, players must wear goggles and face masks for safety. On the streets, however, those safety measures don't apply. Which word or phrase could replace the word however without changing the meaning of the sentence? Therefore, as a result, though, or thus. So you could try every one of those to see if it makes sense and it doesn't change the meaning. So which one did you choose? The answer is though, if you chose though. Let's read it again using the word though. What word or phrase could replace however, okay? At paintball game centers, players must wear goggles and face masks for safety. On the streets, though, those safety measures don't apply. Number 8. At paintball game centers, what must players wear for safety? And where did you find that in the text? That will come straight from the text. Yes, players must wear goggles and face mask for safety. And you find that under subheading 1, paragraph 2. It simply states, at paintball game centers, players must wear goggles and face mask for safety. That's cut and dried. Okay, number 9, read the sentence from the text. When somebody takes a baseball bat and bashes out a car window, you don't hear anybody saying, ban Major League Baseball. In this quote, Jeremy of North Carolina makes a comparison. When we make a comparison, we look at two things and how they're alike and how they're different between baseball and paintball. What is this comparison suggesting about the game of paintball? So I'll let you think about that a minute. Okay, parents, their answers will vary, but it should resemble something like this. If somebody gets hurt or injured because someone is using a paintball gun improperly, the entire game of paintball shouldn't be banned. Just like, for example, if somebody uses a ball or a baseball bat improperly, then that game shouldn't be banned. And then number 10 is another argument, and they really need to write a good bit about this one if they can. Make an argument for or against banning paintball guns. Now, you've read this text. What do you think? That is for you to decide and to write about. If you think they should be banned, then you need to back it up with evidence from this text. Remember, it's not just an opinion. It's based on what you've read. If you think it should not be banned, then you need to do the same thing. You need to look at some of these arguments from this text. Then if you want to add some of your own arguments, you can. But it needs to be based on what you read in the text. Okay, and that completes our very first assignment. So if you have done this and you have watched this video, then you can check that off of your bingo card. I'll see everybody later. Y'all have an awesome day. Bye.